Hello grade 9 students. Welcome to another virtual class. I am Miss Madhuvadke. We are studying chapter 3, Coordinate Geometry. In previous video class, we learnt about Cartesian plane and we also learnt how to find the position of a point on this plane by using some simple rules. The system of finding the position of a point on a plane is called as Cartesian system. In today's video lesson, we will expand our knowledge of Cartesian system a bit more and apply this knowledge in solving questions of exercise 3.2. So here are the main points of this rule that is applied to find the coordinates of a point on a Cartesian plane. The x-coordinate of a point is called abscissa, which is the perpendicular distance of this point from the y-axis. Similarly, the y-coordinate of a point is called as ordinate, which is the perpendicular distance from the x-axis. When we write the coordinates for a point on the Cartesian plane, then the x coordinate always comes first. It is always written first. And then we put a comma and write the y coordinate. And these two coordinates are placed in a bracket. So xy together gives the position of a point on a Cartesian plane. So let's see how a point in the first quadrant will look like. Since the first quadrant is made using the positive x and y axis, both coordinates of every point in this quadrant will be positive. The second quadrant is made with positive y axis and negative x axis. Hence, the points in this quadrant will have coordinates minus x, y. The third quadrant is made with negative x and negative y axis. So, the points will have negative x coordinate and negative y coordinate. The fourth quadrant is made with positive x axis and negative y axis. So, all points in this quadrant will have their x coordinate positive and y coordinate negative. This is same as writing plus, plus, minus, plus, minus, minus, and plus, minus. Also, the coordinates of the origin are going to be 0, 0. Because the point which is origin is at a 0 distance from x-axis and 0 distance from y-axis. With this knowledge, let us solve questions of exercise 3.2. Question number 1. Write the answer of each of the following questions. What is the name of horizontal and vertical lines drawn to determine the position of any point in the Cartesian plane? The horizontal line is called x-axis and the vertical line is called as y-axis. What is the name of each part of the plane formed by these two lines? Quadrant. Write the name of the point where these two lines intersect. That is called as origin. Question number 2. See the figure and write the following. Coordinates of point B. The x coordinate of this point is the perpendicular distance from the y-axis. So since you are moving along the negative x-axis, the x coordinate is going to be minus 5. The y coordinate is its perpendicular distance from the x-axis. Since we move 2 units along the positive y-axis, so y coordinate is 2. What are the coordinates of point C? The first coordinate is the x coordinate, which is the distance from the y axis, and it is 5. Y coordinate is distance from the x axis, and that is -5, because this point is in the 4th quadrant. Third part, the point identified by the coordinates -3, -5. Now look at the ordered pair. Both coordinates are negative. You can quickly say in which quadrant this point will lie. Since both are negative, it is going to lie in the 3rd quadrant. Now, -3 is the distance of this point from the y-axis along the negative x-axis. So, point E is -3 units from y-axis, and it is also -5 units from the x-axis along the negative y-axis. So, this point is E. Fourth part, identify the point that has coordinates 2, -4. So looking at the signs, you can say in which quadrant this point is. Positive x-axis and negative y-axis. So it will be in the 4th quadrant. Now there are 2 points in this quadrant. The x coordinate of this point is 2 units from the y-axis. So G is 2 units from the y-axis, and it is -4 units from the x-axis along the negative y-axis. So this point is G. Fifth part, abscissa of point D. Point D is here. Abscissa is the perpendicular distance from the y-axis. So its abscissa is going to be 6 units. Sixth part, the ordinate of point H. Point H is here. Ordinate is the perpendicular distance from the x-axis along the y-axis. So it is -3 units. The coordinates of point L. Point L is on the y-axis. So its perpendicular distance from the y-axis is 0. So the x coordinate is going to be 0, and point L is 5 units from the x-axis. So its y coordinate will be 5. Coordinates of point M. Point M is on the x-axis. Its distance from the y-axis is the x coordinate. So it is -3 units along the negative x-axis. So the x coordinate will be -3. Since this point is on the x-axis, its distance from the x-axis will be 0. So its y coordinate is going to be 0. So what do we observe? A point which is on the y-axis has its x coordinate 0. A point that is on the x-axis has its y coordinate 0. So we can write a note saying that a point on x-axis will have a format x, 0. A point that is on the y-axis will have a format 0, y. With this, we come to the end of this video lesson. See you in the next class. Until then, goodbye.